the questions which should come will be majorly from these five categories. One is your DAV, one is your subject at your graduation, right? Then one would be your optional, then your work experience, and finally, current affairs. What do you understand by food security, and is it the same as nutrition security?
Food security means that there is access, availability, and availability of food as well as quality of food that is available. The nutrition security focuses mainly on the nutrition, especially carbohydrate, protein, micronutrients that are present, which is very diverse. As we can say that the national food policy is making India food secure, but not nutritionally secure, as National Family Health Survey pointed out that one out of every three person is suffering from anemia.
Right. Good evening, Dipali.
Good evening, sir.
So, Dipali, in this session, I plan to first talk to you about the interview protocols, and
Yes, sir.
then we'll look at some of the qualities which are essential for a successful aspirant. Okay. We'll go on to some practical tips so that your preparation time is utilized to the best and your performance is maximized. And then maybe a few mock question answers just to analyze the quality of your responses, right? And finally, any doubts or clarification that you have, which you want me to address, I'll do that,
Yes, sir.
right? So, can we have a quick introduction, please? Yeah.
Uh, Good morning. Good evening, sir. My name is Dr. Deepali Mahto. I have done my BDS graduation from Government Medical College and Hospital, Mumbai. I currently stay in Mumbai and practice dentistry in Mumbai. My native place is Bihar. My hobbies include Madhubani painting, reading fiction books, as well as brisk walk.
So, how many attempts at UPSC?
So this is my fourth attempt and second interview.
First interview, you got how many marks?
So it was 165.
And you missed the cut by how many?
So 9 marks. 944 was my total score.
Okay. And when is your interview?
So it is on 16th of April.
Oh, one day before the last.
Yes, sir.
So you have plenty of time.
Yes, sir.
That's good. Is it in the morning or in the afternoon?
So it's an afternoon session.
Okay. So Dipali, since you've already faced the interview board once, um, you would be familiar with the protocol, which is that this being a formal occasion, you will need to wear a sari, right?
Sir.
And you need to be fully conversant about the sari also, because if there's a lady member, she might ask about the details. Okay.
Yes.
So you knock and you come in. Don't be in a rush to sit down. Wait till the chairman says allows you. But before that, if there's a lady member, you greet her first. Okay, and otherwise you address the chairman and you say good afternoon, sir, and then you nod at the others. You are not expected, and it looks very ridiculous if you keep on saying good afternoon, sir, good afternoon, sir, good afternoon, sir, good afternoon, like that. Once you sit down, be totally relaxed, right? Wait for the questions to begin. And the only predictable thing, as you would have known by now, about an interview is its unpredictability, right?
Yes.
So questions will come thick and fast from all kinds of unexpected areas. All you can do is, prepare to the maximum and hope that the areas you have covered are the ones which they cover also. But unfortunately, you can't tell them that this is out of syllabus, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what is it that the board is looking for? You see, very often candidates make the mistake of thinking that this is a knowledge quiz. That if they answer 8 out of 10 correctly, they'll get 80%. Doesn't work like that. And it doesn't work like that because they are looking at your attributes and assessing you to see whether you have the qualities required for an officer. So officer like qualities are what is being judged, and I've compiled a list of 10 commandments, so to speak, for successful candidates. So the first one is to maintain integrity at all costs. Right. So that means no guessing, no exaggerating, no bluffing, no false claims, just the straight and narrow path. Second is lucidity. And by lucidity, I mean the capacity to answer in a very, very clear cut fashion, uh, very well constructed and well structured fashion. Right. And for that, you'll be needing analytical ability, which means you go below the surface of the news and grasp the actual dimensions, the nitty gritty of a particular topic. And once you do that, then conceptual clarity, you will attain conceptual clarity. Quite a few candidates I have noticed, aspirants, their concepts are very hazy. So they beat around the bush trying to bring some kind of clarity to them, and then the interviewers get fed up, right? So you need to have that clarity, like Arjun with his bow and arrow, and the eye of the fish, the arrow goes straight and nails that, right? So you will be required to give answers which are concise and yet comprehensive. So that's a tightrope walk, right? Which you have to do. And then, which newspapers are you reading?
Indian Express and Mint.
That's good. Indian Express has a very good page. It's called E Explained. Right. So when you go there, carry a notebook and a pen with you and jot down. For instance, they had some very good um, discussions on quantum computing the other day. Right. So what is superpositioning? What is Microsoft doing, which is going to be revolutionary, and so on. So all those things come in very handy because they are top of the mind. The interviewers will also like to ask on those. And what TV channels are you watching?
Currently none, sir.
You're not watching anything.
No, sir.
I would suggest you watch some because they are useful, because you need to keep up to date with domestic and foreign news. Okay. So DD News gives you a very plain, unvarnished uh, account of what is taking place in the country. And is a good source of international relations, news about what's happening in the world. So, so moving back to the 10 commandments, you will need to show evidence of quick thinking. Okay. Uh, Essentially, that means that sometimes questions are just thrown at you to see whether you are able to handle them or whether you get flustered. And you have to at all times maintain poise and self confidence. And at all times, you have to give balanced opinions. You can't give extreme opinions because a civil servant is not expected to do that. And another very important trait is self awareness and awareness of the world around you, right? And finally, at all times, you have to be guided by reason and logic, not by emotion and sentiment. Okay. Now, moving on to some practical tips. You have enough time. What you should do is, what was your optional, by the way?
I have anthropology.
So what you should do is take some 100 A4 size sheets and divide them into five categories, because these the questions which will come will be majorly from these five categories. One is your DAV, one is your subject at your graduation, right? Then one would be your optional, then your work experience, and finally current affairs. So think about 15-20 questions which can come your way. Not, of course, no one can guarantee that they will come, but this exercise itself is useful. Once you have jotted down those questions and your question bank is ready, then each topic do a deep study, right? And Once you have mastered the topic, reduce it to 4 5 bullet points in order of priority so that you can recall what is being talked about. And sit in front of a mirror and practice, practice, practice. Hmm? The idea is that you need to give the response depending on the question. There's no thumb rule that it has to be 45 seconds or 60 seconds or 90 seconds, because if it is fact based, then it could be a very short answer, right? But if it is opinion based, if they want to draw you into a discussion, then obviously you have to give a longish answer. That will be your call, right? But do this because also this will give you some idea of voice modulation. Very often you see candidates talk in an even monotone. That becomes, especially in the afternoon session, it becomes very boring. So you have to give inflections in your voice. When you want to say something which you want to emphasize, then your voice goes up, the pitch goes up, right? Like that. Right. Any questions so far, Dipali?
Oh, sir.
Okay, so we move on to the mock question answers, right?
Yes.
So, Dipali, with your background um, from the medical profession, uh, tell me what is the difference between identical twins and fraternal twins?
Identical twins and identical twins are born from the same zygote due to bifurcation, and fraternal twins are born from two different zygotes. So the genetic material is different in both.
Very good. So, let me ask you another question. What do you understand, Dipali, by Industrial Revolution 4.0?
Currently, it is said that it is era of Industrial Revolution 4 that will be guided by cyberspace like AI, machine learning, and quantum computing. So these are some of the components of Industrial Revolution 4.
Okay, so Dipali, what you have said is factually correct, right? But I'm going to give you an answer which is impactful and impressive, and then it becomes a template for you to try and capture it in a similar way for other questions also. You may like or you may not like, but I'll leave that to you. But the response may go like this: that the term industrial revolution was popularized by Klaus Schwab in 2016, and he's the founder of the World Economic Forum, which meets in Davos annually. It refers to the blurring of the boundaries between the physical, digital, and biological worlds. And some of the groundbreaking technologies used in this exercise are artificial intelligence, gene editing, advanced robotics, nanotechnology, etc. So now you can see the kind of setup which is there. First, you introduce the topic by giving its context, the historical background, so to speak. Then you go on to the definition. That is very important because that is where I was referring to conceptual clarity, right? And third, you give some examples which show that you know how it is playing out in the real world, in a practical sense. Okay. But suppose the interviewer is still not satisfied and says, Dipali, what you have said is theoretically all correct, but I would like you to give me a living example of Industrial Revolution 4.0 in action.
So the current uses of AI in multiple fields is a current example of how AI is shaping, especially in the healthcare field or in town management in current Kumbh Mela. This showcase how the Industrial Revolution 4 is shaping the current scenario.
Right. So I would like to give an example, Dipali, which captures all aspects of the definition because that is where the impactful uh, im- impactful aspect comes in, right? So here I would like to give the example of Neuralink and the device which it pioneered, telepathy. The name of the device is telepathy. It was implanted in the human brain using advanced robotics, and it consists of a 1,024 electrodes mounted on ultra thin 64 wires, electrical wires, which map brain activity. And the final objective is to allow the brain to converse wirelessly with an inanimate object like a laptop or a desktop. So you are seeing here that this example captures, firstly, it captures the physical object, which is the device. It captures the digital aspect, which is the advanced robotics. And it captures the brain biological aspect, right? The brain. And it showcases the interlinkages of all of them, right? The interface between the biological, physical, and digital worlds. So try and get that kind of a answer in a response. Again, what you said was correct factually, right? But it did not quite hit the mark in the way the panel would like you to, right? Hmm. So enough time you have, you can get going with all this. Now, another question: what do you understand by food security, and is it the same as nutrition security?
Food security means that there is access, availability, and availability of food as well as quality of food that is available. The nutrition security focuses mainly on the nutrition, especially carbohydrate, protein, micronutrients that are present, which is very diverse. As we can say that the national food policy is making India food secure, but not nutritionally secure, as National Family Health Survey pointed out that one out of every three person is suffering from anemia.
Again, a very good answer, Dipali. But as I said, each of these terminologies carry a particular jargon which is associated with them. So the term food security refers to the availability, accessibility, and affordability
Mm.
of nutritious food to all sections of the population, right? Nutrition security adds another layer, that of absorption capacity. So you could be giving nutritious food to a child, for instance, but if he's suffering from diarrhea, then the nutritional aspect of the food is washed away, right? And he does not get any nutritional security. So now you see, Dipali, the way these answers are structured, um, they give you that uh, idea of conceptual clarity. You know exactly what food security is, you know exactly what nutrition security is. Whereas the answer you gave was coming very close to all these aspects. Firstly, you missed out affordability, right? And you said accessibility first and availability second. It's the other way around. It's availability, accessibility, and affordability. Because you see, it goes in sequence, right? And then the nutrition aspect, you correctly said it's not the same as food security. Huh? But why exactly that point you missed out, right?
Yes.
Huh. So nothing to worry because you see, you have a very good personality, you have good articulation skills, you have already faced the interview board, so you should go there, and you've got a very good smile, by the way. So use
Okay.
that, okay? So you should go there with absolutely no cobwebs in your mind. Hmm? Ah, absolutely clear cut that I'm going to ace this interview. I know what it takes, right? So go there and ace the interview. Best of luck. Okay. My
Okay.
final question to you: which is the first pair of twins in the IAS?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to recall this, and I will look for it.
Okay. So you're looking at one of them now.
Okay.
I have a twin called Love, and both of us made it to the IAS. Love is, and both of us made it to UP Cadre. Both of us made it in the first attempt, and both of us have earned a mention in the Limca Book of Indian Records as the first pair of twins in the IAS. Right then. Dipali, all the best. You'll do very well.
Thank you, sir.
I look forward to seeing your name in the list of successful candidates.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
And
sir.
this session was useful.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.